So this video may get divided up into two parts, but I have another mushroom trip story for you. I said I was saving this for, a while, so it wasn't just that easy to tell. That was one of the cleanest snaps I have ever done in my entire life. It was because I didn't expect anything to come of it, and look at how clean it was. But okay, so this was actually one of the most intense mushroom trips, and I'm just going to be completely honest about it, because I feel like there's a lot to pick from it. So, I'm sure there's many other people who have witnessed something like this, but okay, so when I just want to give some basis. When you see movies or shit where they show people that have no face, or almost like the Slender Man thing where it's no face, I don't know, it's like weird, it's depicted as some, I don't know how it's really depicted, right? But this shit gives a new meaning to that shit. So I actually have a screenshot from a YouTuber. He's a cool YouTuber, food YouTuber. His name is Eric the Electric. But I actually screenshotted where the video, I unintentionally paused the video. Actually, yes, I can show it like this. I like doing this instead of editing it in. But yeah. Okay, so if you could imagine what faces looked like, they looked like this on the trip. And here's what I say about the psychedelic trips I do, is they almost allow me to be in a way different flow with my awareness than just it's not just a quote unquote high. It almost really breaks the matrix, I should say. So anyways, this was again me and my bro. We took him together, right? And right away he was like, you're about to realize everything. He's so chill about going into it. He's like, you're about to realize more shit this time that you take it. So boom, we take it. We're waiting for the effects to happen. And right away, boom, phone rings. See what I mean? Because these aren't when I take psychedelics, it's not normal shit if you're around me. It's straight world bending shit that starts happening. So, and I don't know why it happens like this. Maybe because it allows me to tap into more of my brain. And then if you hear all these people who talk about, everything you experience is the mind, then that shit really allows me to start changing my environment. But I asked, so before the phone rings, let me actually give context. So there's this, yeah, I just got to be honest about it. We have this really good friend from school who still really wanted to be close with us, and he's really close, and he's a bro too. But sometimes I think he's in the Matrix, how Neo basically caused Mr. Smith to become sentient too, and realize he was programmed to and all that shit, and then he started multiplying himself. That's what almost sometimes the bro seems like, the guy I'm referring to in this. But when in that trip, when that trip initially started to kick off, that's what we were talking about beforehand. We were I was I really just don't know. He became conscious. I'm surprised that it happened as fast as it did, and he started getting the deja vu and stuff. But maybe for some people, they've been here so many times before that it happens like that. Of course, I'm one of those cases too, and my bro. So anyways, long story short, on one of the trips that I don't think I talked about, when we were walking around while being on the plant medicine, out of nowhere, and it's crazy because I think we had 3 people with us, but I can't remember the third person. There were construction workers coming out of buildings randomly. And I've brought this up to other people, and some people told me that these are not the architects, but they're the people who keep the matrix running in the background, and when you're just going throughout your normal day, you can't perceive them. But it was crazy because they were walking like this, literally, I cannot make this shit up. And I actually even feel a little bit weird even telling this story after I got a comment on one of my videos that said, like the dude was like, "Oh, you talk a lot of shit. Like, are you smoking shrooms?" I was actually just telling this story to two girls I met, and it was funny. But no, meditation and my imagination is all I need, and I'm fucking high all the time off just my vibration being raised. But plant medicine is a really good thing if you're trying to unlock a lot of shit. But pretty much it was like this. If I can explain it, they were like this. So if you can picture a construction worker in a jacket, like the reflective jackets, they were looking at. So there was one that was a lady looking at us like this, walking like this, and she was, and kept walking like this, and I looked to my bro, and I'm like, "You're seeing this too? Like, I'm not just tripping?" Because the thing, when you hear people talk about like tripping on psychedelics, that shit never happened for us like that. Like, it was always beautiful ass experiences where things were just opening up and unfolding and things were becoming beautiful. So when we were seeing shit like this, like trying to walk around on it, I 100% got the feeling of like always too, we feel like this drawing to want to go to nature. But that's a story for another time on what I think that is. But yeah, so explain this to me, because we were physically seeing these people, mad of them, coming out of like the backs of store alleys, coming out of like cuts on streets, just coming out and walking like this, going like this. Fucking there was one like walking like this, and they're wearing like hard hats, reflective jackets in areas that are not construction, like don't have construction set up. So when I hear quotes like "the world is a stage" from like Shakespeare and shit, I'm like, holy shit, is this what's going on in the background? But because everybody is so like attached to viewing certain things, you can't perceive these people in the background. And they seem friendly, like they didn't seem like a danger to us. They just seemed like construction workers coming the fuck out of nowhere. That was no construction was being done. Now, again, I get really passionate when I talk about this stuff, because I think it's fucking cool as shit what we were seeing. But yo, we were like low key bugging out, because we were like, yo, they can see us. Like even like you're probably saying like, yeah, they probably thought like y'all were weird. But no, it's like, I bet that they thought like, oh shit, like I don't know what the fuck happened. But yo, every area we seen these motherfuckers popping up out of, there was no construction. Like one I can give you an example of is like a doctor's office. Came from the doctor's office parking lot, walks out, looks at us doing the weird walk, and goes back. And here's one, another quote or a saying that is like, you don't see the same things as, even if somebody says they see the same thing as you, you both are not seeing the same thing. So the fact that he was seeing it too, we were like, oh shit, like we were looking at each other like, are you seeing this shit right now? And it was just insane. Also, another thing that was crazy was people in cars. I kid you not, the world. So I swear we never had this experience on like shrooms before, but it was still a beautiful experience, and there was like signs everywhere and when it was happening. But one of the craziest things that happened was seeing certain people in cars. So certain people in cars had normal faces. But then when I brought up this image, it probably would have been good if I explained it at the point I brought it up. Some people looked like this. Some people looked like this. And they had big ass grins on their face. And it was actually one funny moment that I'm going to say is my bro was looking both ways in the street. Me too. I was like, we always make sure like we're hella aware. It's almost like the plant medicine makes us even more aware. But we were hella aware. So we were being super extra safe, because it's like, okay, you don't want to like just end up dying on this, like, or whatever, just doing something stupid, which, a lot of people would think like when you're doing plant medicine or something already, you're like getting stupid. I don't fucking know. I don't even know why I said some shit like that. I really do not care. That's why I'm telling this story. I wouldn't even have this uploaded if I cared. But truthfully, yeah, like no, we were being smart. It's not like we was off the shit and dying. We were like trying to figure out what the fuck we were seeing because everything seemed fake at this point. So then, street completely clear. Got red lights down that street. Red light down this one on the main road. I kid you not. He gets this weird sensation. Now, this has been talked about before. I actually wanted to tell this story, like where a girl got this voice in her head to turn back from this forest, and she ended up like not listening to it at first, and she got like halfway on the forest trail, but then the urge, like her intuition got so bad that she turned back, and then like 10 minutes later, there was like a wild fucking forest fire. So it was like that for him instantly. He took a step in the street. And I kid you not, when I seen it too. So I actually had this conversation with one of my girlfriends maybe like a month ago who was over here. Where, so like if you're facing this way, you know, like scientists discovered this too. Well, discovered it. It's rediscovered because ancient knowledge already knew this shit. But when you're not observing you're not observing a certain part of an area, it turns into like waves and like someone could probably, you know, look it up, or maybe you know what I'm talking about. I can't really just recall all this. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I'm shooting a video.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't have the answer.
Such a weird ass synchronicity. Like yo, oh my god, if I could like explain that, why that call was so like crazy, but let's get back to the video. Zone back in. Where the fuck was I? Oh, so the whole observing and particles changing or turning into waves and lengths or whatever the fuck it was. So I don't know. I have a book that actually speaks about this, but pretty much, that's how it was for the car, because he looked both ways before he was about to cross. Me too. I had his back. We're just like aware, anyways. Just you know, backstories. But so, as soon as I go to turn to my left, it's like this fucking car materialized out of nowhere. And the driver, funny enough, when he was going by, was grinning. Like had this face. Look at this. Had this face and was grinning like this. Like, and just no face. But you could see like the blurred out. And trust me, this was not every car, it was certain cars, which goes back to making me think about a video I made about the Egyptians talking about automatons, or, you know, it's not to be mean, but certain people in this life are actually bots. They're actually like soulless, and like, they're like, I don't know, like how to explain them. I really don't, but you know, it's hard for me to even say it because I don't like to sound like I'm mean or sound like I'm trying to knock down people. But I guess to be honest, they're not even real, to be honest. They're just like, they're like Matrix filler. But yeah, so like he was grinning at us, hard ass grin. Goes by, he's the only fucking car. And we cross the street. And he was the only car to go by. It was like, so when we crossed, my bro ends up going, yeah, I knew something was off, because as soon as I stepped, I got an urge to like go back really quick, and he went back, and then that happened, and I was like, that's fucking funny. And then we crossed, and then everything was like good from there. But then again, the thing I referenced earlier with construction workers. So now, why did I bring up the bro earlier? If you're actually this far, thank you for the one girl or guy, your name seemed like a girl or a guy, who said end on my video, who actually got that far. That really did make my day. I'm glad, because I tell these stories and tell these things from my perspective to really, it's like reminiscent of my old channel. I really tell these things to enlighten you that this world is really not what you think it is. But another crazy thing is, okay, so now why I was talking about the construction workers. Well, there's 2 cases where this happened with people I know. But when that friend called, so everything I just told transpired after this call, because I was just like, yo, let's just go on a walk. you know, because we never tried to walk while actually observe the world while we were on plant medicine. And yo, this shit is insane. So he calls, and we answer, like I answer, and funny enough, so if you know about the chakras, to me, I don't want to say it was low vibrational, but I already grew up. Okay, so I got to give you a bit of like vulnerability to me, and I don't mind if people are like this, if this is like the life they live. But one thing about me is not only like I grew up in a household of girls, but I don't want to just blame it on that and be like that's why I'm so good with it. No, I just feel like something natural in me was never like this. But what's wild is he calls, and me and my cousin call this shit distortion. Well, distortion is a real thing. It's like like even Drake had a bar where he said in a song where distortion is the only devil, and like that's the shit that distracts you. So when he calls, he's saying legit nothing. Like my bro stays quiet. He's leaned back in his chair and he's like, watch. I'm telling you, you're gonna peep what I've been trying to tell you. That like when we hear in these songs, it's everybody like, or so this is where it might sound like I'm like sounding paranoid, but this is like the Truman Show type shit where certain people around you are really like bots. So he calls, he's on the phone, and sorry to get so like mixy about it, but he calls and is not saying anything. Like, so I'm thinking this is the trip. Like I'm sitting here going, bro, I'm like this, I'm holding the phone like, bro, what are you saying? Like, what? I'm like, what are you saying? And he's like saying, he's like, and there's some shit, and he's, yeah, and I'm like, bro, why are you acting like that? So I thought I was the one tripping out. I'm like, bro, are you good? And mind you, he's wearing a hard hat and construction outfit. And I'm not saying those are the symbols, but I'm saying like, it almost seemed like, just funny enough, that coincidentally, he's doing construction. And it was just like, there's too much happening for me right now because I'm just trying to enjoy the trip. So, anyways, why I was saying I was going into that backstory, because I'm pretty sure when he called, it had to do with something about a girl. Now, I don't know if I want to get into really current events, but I noticed that shit happens a lot. And I feel like when people are always talking about girls, or guys are always talking about girls, they're locked in their bottom chakra like that, like the bottom two, like really like I don't know the nature. I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone, but I'm like, I don't know, like usually like from what, I don't know if I can even say that. I have to speak for myself. That's why it's getting so mixed up. But me personally, never been a hoe, never was like wanted to talk to multiple girls, never was like dogging girls like, oh yeah, I'm about to get this right now. Like, no, like never that. And if I was like that, it was a girl I was gonna date. I was like, oh, I'm really in here. Like, I'm kind of being a simp. You can ask anybody in my life about that. So, and I think his phone call was in reference to that. And the prior conversation that me and my bro had before, like, you know, the plant medicine started kicking in, was that I didn't know if I really actually wanted to be around this person, because for some weird ass pattern, it always becomes about girls. Like, we actually almost got into this. Like, I don't argue with anyone because arguing is pointless. And there was a time where we were going to Walmart and we got into almost an argument about like girls. Like it was so dumb. Like, he said, oh, do you ever feel like a girl lied about like some shit, or has ever lied to you about, I don't know what it was. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I attract people who are pretty honest. And if that is the case, then I mean, they'd only be hurting themselves or some shit. And he was like, so are you saying some shit? And like, just try to argue for no reason. And I think that was still trying to show me like, yo, this is not someone you want to be around. Like, and it be like that. It be the ones that are super close to you that you can never really tell, but small little things kind of show you that it's like, yo, this person is kind of ciphering from your energy and you should not be around them. Because I noticed, like, out of the blue when I'm doing my own thing, he'll hit me up and say the weirdest shit. And I don't know if I want to be, I'll be honest about it, I guess, in this video. But, like, this is, like, what the mushroom trip was trying to show me. Like, for an example, like, before I went into the trip, I set my intention as I wanted answers. Like, is the world around me, everything going on, I wanted answers. So me telling you this part is like I already got a form of the answers way earlier and I didn't act on it. So what's crazy is yeah, so there was a time, like, he even hit me up and was like, oh, like, it was just, to me, like, I don't even know if I could be honest about that. That shit is getting into, like, deeper shit, but I don't know. I'll hold it for now. I'll go back to me. So pretty much that shit was crazy. We were seeing people in cars, in certain cars, that had no face, in certain cars that had like they were literally blank like this, and you can see the indents and impressions on their face. Like, I was like, oh, actually, boom, look at this. I can bring it up. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I can bring this up. Okay, I can't let the music play, but I just need this. Boom. Look at this. Okay. So when we seen this video come out, we were, oh, nah, okay. Look, yeah, like, yo, oh my gosh, it was like this. And when we seen this shit, I was like, okay, nah. So when we were hearing that certain artists drop hints in their movie or in their music videos, I was like, yeah, that's not an accident that we seen that after. There's hell no. So, like I said, these things are kind of lining up with what's going on in reality. So it's like, can you really say I'm tripping? I don't know. Even if you feel like you can, or maybe feel like I'm crazy. In short, I guess I really banged this out in all one video. Well, okay. But pretty much, if you really think that, like, I am or whatever, I don't know. It was a really positive experience for me because I got answers that I needed. I got exactly what my intent was. I set my intentions beforehand and got exactly what I wanted out of the plant medicine experience. I saw between the lines. Like, I was literally seeing people who are described as, like, maybe, I don't actually know what to call them, but to me, a being like that was like soulless. And not only that, I actually had a dream beforehand where I was on a plane, like not a plane, but I was like on a plane of existence where there were creatures in the street that looked like that were stealing people's like identities. Like, it would steal your face. Oh, and that was another comparison I drew, was the Avatar: The Last Airbender thing. When he had to go see, I think it was, what is the name of the being? I can't remember the being, but if you showed emotion towards the being, it would steal your face. And then I kind of broke down the whole thing behind that and what that could represent. But yeah, like, it was like that. It was fucking crazy. It was insane. And, like, I'm pretty sure in one of the scenes they even showed Aang not having a face or something, but it all connects. Everything connects like this. It's one big puzzle. So yeah, I thought that was like such a really cool experience, but really crazy at the same time, because the most wild shit was happening. Like, clairaudience was happening, hearing all the messages in the songs, so much more intense on the trip. Things were so much more like vibrant and beautiful. Actually, another crazy thing that was on it that happened, or wild, I don't know, I hate to say crazy or wild, but was we heard someone's entire phone conversation in a car. Like, okay, so they drove by and all windows up, and we heard them try to make a call, and it was call can't be completed as dialed, or user disconnected their. So I'm like, we were hearing through the car. I was like, what the fuck is this in? And then also sounded wild as fuck. It was almost like you look in the direction of birds and you could hear them flapping. It was like activating fucking superpowers. I kid you not. That's why I'm like, psychedelic trips were just not psychedelic trips from us. Like, and also, this is another thing, if you didn't know about this for plant medicine, is that I think you permanently open new neural pathways in your brain. So, yeah. And you can't die from this shit. And it's just like free fucking upgrades. What is this, cyberpunk? But nah. But in all seriousness, again, I always say and want to like say, just don't get pressured, you know, be very safe when you do these things. And yeah, I don't really condone doing it, going like, yeah, get out there and try. I'm not like the advocate for it, but I am definitely in agreement that like these things are banned and hidden from us because they literally do not want people learning about yourself. Because if I didn't have those two two really big trips, I wouldn't have gotten as close to like creativity, like my the things I can think about, my imagination, my meditation, my like, I feel like everything fucking changed, like my outlook on everything. And just like it's so beautiful the more I think about the experiences I had. Like, and I didn't even get to, oh shit, did I get to the, oh, I think I did. Did I already do the heroic dose video? Damn, I think I did. Well, there's still stuff from that I can even explain that I didn't even talk about, that are just such crazy experiences where it really showed how time was a concept. Like, literally during the trip, it broke down the science. Like, fucking seeing light code and formulas and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And like, certain people unlock this naturally, like during, like, you know. And the thing for me that was like has been natural is deja vu. So just like straight having 100% deja vu, and it helps me even, like, I can even tell people wild things that they're like, how do I even know this about them? That's like my thing that's naturally unlocked. But I feel like when I take plant medicine, which I haven't in a long time, I've been on nothing. So that's what I think is really funny when I got that comment on my YouTube where the dude was like, you must be smoking. Like shit, I was just like, honestly, it's just sad. But honestly, I heard also that they know exactly what you're going to post when you post it. And not only that, there are accounts that actually go to these pages to talk shit and stuff. Think about this. If there's 7 billion people, as they say, the number, you got to think about that. Each of us is not going to experience the 7 billionth person. We're not going to meet, right? So you got to think, when these accounts and stuff come to your pages or pages like that and act like, or whatever they do, it's like, yo, I'm never going to meet this. So you should never let shit like that bother you. I'm making these videos for the ones that really understand the message and are hearing truly. So that is you who may be at the end of this video, and if you are, that's fucking beautiful. Because like, I'm telling you, the shit I'd be going through and seeing on these trips are for real. It's not just like it is a mind opening experience. I feel like I learned more of myself each time in the past. Like, I feel like they were all like, after literally what I said after the plant medicine experience, I literally went like this: yo, I think I got it. Like, I think I got it. But now I just have to believe in myself and not doubt myself, and have total utter confidence in these characters I create. Literally, that's what I said at the end of one. I was like, I don't have to do anything ever again. And I went back to meditating. I've been meditating since I was 14, but I didn't know how powerful it was. And I feel like because I did it when I was 14, I was already on the road. Like, something in me already knew, hey, we done this before. But yeah, with that, I will end the video. And I'm so glad I got to talk about that story, because I think there was even like crazier shit that happened that day. But that's the biggest thing I can remember, is the no faces, and the people in construction outfits. I don't know what that was. Someone explained it to me as they're the back, like they're almost like, you ever seen the horror game The Backrooms? It's almost like that's where they pop out of. It's like they're in the back rooms of where we aren't perceiving. So like when you're driving down the street and you're not really looking left or right, or you see things out of the corner of your eye, that's the reality they exist in. They exist in like the corner of your eye. You know, other people said like when you see shadows and stuff in the corner of your eye, those are archons. But yeah, like you almost like, it's almost like you, when you think you've seen something, that's what they would be. That's the best way I could explain it. I don't know what. I know they're friendly, and we even had one super close to us, was a weird experience too, where we walked down the same side of the street, and it's actually a physical creature being. Like, the reason I say creature is because, not to be mean, if it is just like a regular being, you know what, fuck it, or to be mean, but they're like natural. They're not like mean from what I could tell, but we walked past one and it's almost like it is physical. So it's almost like it literally just is out of our field of perception. I don't know. But like, again, like I said, haven't experienced anything like that in a while because I haven't been on anything. So yeah, take with that what you will. Insane experience. And again, that plant medicine trip just made me feel even more empowered, to be honest. Like, really, to be honest, especially when I was like able to look in certain directions or like hear straight through walls. It was like I could look at houses and hear conversations in the house. It's fucking insane. But yeah, okay. Hope you liked that video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.